What's poppin', y'all? I really wanted to talk about this TikTok proposed ban. If you guys recall, either a year or a couple of years ago, a similar thing was proposed and people thought it was going to get banned unless someone, like some company bought it in the US, some US-based company. But another bill passed, or a bill passed this time, with the House of Representatives that pretty much they voted against opposition and they said it would prohibit TikTok from US app stores unless the social media platform, which used by roughly 170 million Americans, is spun off from its Chinese parent company ByteDance. Now, there was a reply by the TikTok CEO, and I'm going to play you guys' reply and then we're going to talk about this.
Hi everyone. It's Show here. Just wanted to share some thoughts with our US users about the disappointing vote in the House of Representatives. There has been a lot of misinformation, and I hope to clarify some things. First, thank you to our incredible community. You are what makes TikTok so special. Thank you for making your voices heard. Over the last few years, we have invested to keep your data safe and our platform free from outside manipulation. We have committed that we will continue to do so. This legislation, if signed into law, will lead to a ban of TikTok in the United States. Even the bill sponsors admit that that's their goal. This bill gives more power to a handful of other social media companies. It will also take billions of dollars out of the pockets of creators and small businesses. It will put more than 300,000 American jobs at risk, and it will take away your TikTok. We know how important TikTok is to all of you. It has given our 170 million users a platform to freely express themselves and has empowered more than 7 million businesses in the United States. Our platform matters to the small business owners who rely on TikTok to make ends meet, to the teachers who inspire millions of students to learn, and to everyone who discovers and finds joy on TikTok. We will not stop fighting and advocating for you. We will continue to do all we can, including exercising our legal rights, to protect this amazing platform that we have built with you. We believe we can overcome this together. I encourage you to keep sharing your stories. Share them with your friends. Share them with your family. Share them with your senators. Protect your constitutional rights. Make your voices heard. Love you all.
So that was his reply. I'm someone that is not a TikTok user. I have had business on TikTok. I kind of shilled TikTok to you guys as an opportunity. If you guys are here from like 2019, you know I was pretty much saying all the time, like, hey, TikTok is the biggest music opportunity if you're an artist or something like that. I just recognized the opportunity, and then it ended up being the case, and everyone at that time was like, man, this is corny, this is corny, this is corny. Well, now those same people are trying to get lit on TikTok when it's not the same as it once was. So I'm not even a person that uses it, and I still agree that it shouldn't be banned. Like, there's 170 million users, and there are a ton of people doing such positive stuff on TikTok. Like, there are philanthropists, there are nonprofits, there are educators. Like, do you guys remember that guy that went viral and then got a bunch of hate? The guy with the afro that was talking about libraries and getting people to read in his local library. And, you know, so many people started showing up to his local library. He was going viral, and then this dumb woman decided to say, oh, this guy's got like dark energy, and that went really big, and he was getting a bunch of hate, and then I think he took a break. I don't know what he's doing right now, but screw that lady. So there are people doing a ton of positive stuff. Now, if you're someone that just this thing caters to you. If you're someone that just sees negative stuff, yeah, that's on you. Now, what they do say is the algorithm in China is different, and it's, pushing people to do math and science. I don't really know if that's the case. I feel like there's certain things we hear that we believe because they seem like they might be true, yet we don't know. I've never been to China. I don't know anybody that's using TikTok in China, and I don't know how different it is. That's just my honest answer, so I can't speak on that. However, if that were the case in America, people would be complaining about, man, there's not like freedom of content. We're having content forced on us by a quote-unquote totalitarian government that's trying to force us in a certain direction. Really, TikTok is authentic in the US. The algorithm is showing to people exactly what they want to see. Otherwise, they wouldn't be spending a bunch of time on it. So the people here want to see something, and that's freedom, right? Also, what I find odd is, you guys remember how Universal pulled all their music from TikTok just recently, like not even a month ago? And isn't that ironic? Now there's this proposed ban for TikTok in the US, and they're kind of strong-arming it. And like I said, there are a lot of people that make money on TikTok, that they rely on their living on TikTok. And I know people that don't have jobs in that space. Like, for example, I'm not on TikTok, and I don't make any money on TikTok. But I feel for those people. Like those people, their livelihood is on there and they're contributing in whatever possible way. They're working with brands, etc. And the rug is going to get pulled from underneath them because what's the other option? People will say, nah, man, we got IG Reels. Look at Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy gave a perfect example. Just the other day, he was talking about, yo, I'm done streaming on IG. I just streamed on TikTok today and made 11 grand in a day. So this guy's getting paid on TikTok. IG's pimping people out. These people making reels, they're not getting paid $1 off these reels. So you as the consumer, you're like, yeah, dude, I'm getting reels and it's just as entertaining to me as TikTok. So who cares about TikTok? Well, yeah, but you've got to like put yourself in the other person's shoes and then look at it from their perspective. The world doesn't revolve around you. That's why a lot of people have such a closed mind. They're just looking at it from their perspective and they're like, yeah, this is how it's supposed to be. Like, who cares about TikTok? And it feels like a strong arm. Like, oh yeah, sell it to you, a US based company. What is the selling point to me? Let's say I'm a TikTok user. What's the selling point to me that I shouldn't have TikTok and I should support TikTok being banned in the US? Oh, because they're collecting my data just like Mark Zuckerberg? Like, I don't trust a corporation, the US government, my government, any more than I trust China with like my data. It's all the same thing. It's all entities that don't really care about me because let's keep it real. Does the government care about you? No. So they're all getting my data anyway. It's just about who serves me best. And in this case, for a lot of people, it's TikTok, giving them business content, business as in the people that are creators on TikTok. So what's going to happen? This is like a strong arm tactic by government where some people have already talked about this, but in China, most stuff is like banned. YouTube, they don't have no YouTube. They've got their own version of YouTube. They don't have any Twitch. They've got their own version of Twitch. They've pretty much got a replica, like they have WeChat, not WhatsApp. They've got a replica of everything that we have or something similar, but for their own government because they banned the stuff. And some people are saying, well, that's not fair. Yeah, it's not fair, but I mean, do we have the same government as China? No. So we can't play by the same rules. And I think the app has done a lot of positive stuff. Look at Twitter, right? This Twitter is owned by an American. I don't care if he was born in South Africa. I'm pretty sure he's a US citizen by now. So Twitter was not only started, but it was bought by an American citizen. It's an American company. You open that app and you scroll, you see people dying, you see people getting shot, you see a bunch of fake stuff, you see a bunch of you open the replies. Twitter is impossible. Twitter X is impossible to open in public and scroll through replies. You scroll through replies for 0.5 seconds and you see 15 OF chicks that are busting it open. So you're in public, you're scrolling through Twitter X and people are like, what the hell is this guy looking at? That's Twitter. So is that really so much better than TikTok? At least there isn't nudity on TikTok. Now there is the issue of all these OF demons, these like, man, the people that manage this stuff are really evil, of funneling them to chicks OF via TikTok. Yeah, that is a thing that's going on. But that's going on TikTok, on IG Reels. You guys haven't seen a homie of mine sent me this. There's this whole sub niche on IG Reels of chicks breastfeeding a fake baby. So they have literally a baby doll, and the video he sent me, the chick has her other bosom out completely and the one that she's feeding the baby in. So it's like, number one, why is the other one even out? And number two, the baby's fake. And there's like a whole section of these, and those are allowed on IG Reels. And those are all, yeah, the link in the bio is to an OF link. So there's no legitimate conversation being had or point being made of TikTok is objectively worse than any of these platforms we have here. It's just strong arm tactics. They're trying to get them to sell, and good on them for not agreeing to sell. Like, why the hell would they sell it to some company here when they put a lot of money and a lot of effort to get TikTok into adoption in the US? The amount of marketing spend that they were doing was insane. I remember watching this all happen. I'm like, I'm seeing TikTok everywhere. And they broke through. They're like the #1 app now. And now the government's like, hey, we want to, figure this out. Remember all these bills that kind of like were affecting us? It's just old people that don't get what's going on. They don't get where the culture is going, where the youth is viewing stuff. And TikTok is giving so many more opportunities. Like, they're giving long form opportunities. People are making money in different ways to create content. And they're trying to incentivize people in a similar way that YouTube was doing early on by giving like shared revenue to people that are creating on there and creating original content and incentivizing them to continue to do so. Because a lot of the content that you find funny, entertaining, it's way more mature and takes a lot more time to make than it did back then, even 10 years ago. So for someone to be able to consistently make that type of content, it takes a ton of their time. Therefore, they need to get paid for it, or it just doesn't make sense for them to continue to do it. They can't just have a full time and like have a family or whatever and create that content. It's impossible. So TikTok and other platforms, or not other platforms, TikTok mainly, allows this to happen. YouTube as well. IG Reels, hell no. Like, you got to sell something or like do brand deals or something like that to be able to make money on IG Reels for like, the regular content. There's so many people on IG Reels that talk about, yeah, I haven't made a buck. And TikTok, or not TikTok, Twitter, they are paying people, but I mean, they're giving you like 2 shekels to rub together, really. And people aren't really eating like that on Twitter. But the problem is on Twitter, the people that are eating are posting outrage propaganda because that's going to get the most engagement. So you've got people like that Malaysian guy. I don't know what his name is. There was like a rumor, there's a fake rumor going around that he was ordered to be like, not assassinated, ordered to death penalty in Malaysia or something, which is fake. But that guy's posting outrage propaganda consistently because it gets the most engagement, which fuels it and gets it on our algorithm. And that's where we're at. So I would like TikTok to stay. I don't want TikTok to get banned. I can't find a good reason. I can't find a good reason for it to get banned. I feel like you should look in yourself. If your initial gut reaction and your emotional reaction is like, yeah, let's ban it, say why. Sit down, ask yourself why, and think of some good reasons. And I would like to hear those reasons in the comments that serve not only the creators on TikTok, but the viewers of TikTok. Not the government, not some corporation, not like some patriotism or some nationalism stuff, like some reasoning that affects the actual users of the application and the people that benefit from it. And yeah, pretty much I'll be reading all the comments. Let me know what y'all think down there. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for watching. Peace. I actually recorded this 2 hours ago, and then this thought just came to me and I had to add it. And this is really, really important. So if you've tuned in until this point, there's been something very, very, very big going on since October, right? Between a very, very big thing going on in the world. A lot of people are dying. People are giving it different names. Some calling it ethnic, whatever you want to call it. Actually, let's censor those 2 words. But let's just say some people are wiping out another group of people. And ironically enough, TikTok, the Chinese-owned platform that doesn't necessarily have a dog in this race, or is it a horse in this race, with said country, the narrative on TikTok is far different than what it is on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, where many people were penalized for speaking out in wrongthink. So if they're not supporting said nation and their actions, they pretty much get slapped upside the head like, yo, your reach is gone, okay? Sit down and say the right thing. Yet TikTok was the only one because they don't really care. So the actual sentiment of the people, which is supporting the people that are being besieged and pretty much terrorized and really, really like brutal what's happening. The actual people across the world all support the other people. And it's being suppressed by these American platforms because Americans' political interests globally align with a other particular nation. We got to talk in code. If you're confused, do a little bit of research. Someone may educate you in the comments a little bit. So I just find that to be another irony that we get. And yeah, I just had to add this because wow, this really makes sense. Because you got to think about it, man. China doesn't care what's going on in the Middle East. Not really. Like they're not bought in the way that, let's say, the UK or the US for sure is bought in and kind of like tied at the hip. Same thing with like China not really caring too much about Russia and Ukraine. Although they are like more aligned with Russia, they're not like jumping out to defend or send billions or anything. I don't want this to turn political, but I'm just saying the reasoning for TikTok being banned that's being purported to the audience is not the reason for why they want it banned. And that's pretty much the conclusion that I would like you guys to come to as well, and the conclusion that I came to.